Hello, everyone. And also, today is Friday. Hooray! It's Friday today. And for this fun Friday, we're going to react to, once again, another CNN 10 video. This is the true GOAT of the episodes that are 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes. Yeah, because remember, they cover up everything in 10 minutes. So here we go.
What's up, sunshine? Happy Friday, the day of the week that smiles are wider, and some of us already have one foot out the door. I'm Coy Wire. This is CNN 10 Big Show today, so let's roll. The cruise ship at the center of a deadly hantavirus outbreak that, as of this taping, took the lives of 3 people, has left quarantine and is now on the move. The ship, named MV Hondius, left Cape Verde and is headed to Spain's Canary Islands after the remaining ill passengers on board were medically evacuated. Now, health officials are trying to find anyone else who may have had contact with any of the 8 suspected cases. That's because this particular strain of the rodent-borne illness, called the Andes strain, has shown human-to-human transmission before. One of the people who died from the illness was a woman who had taken a flight to Johannesburg, South Africa, with 88 other people on board. Officials are urgently contact tracing for another patient who is currently in the hospital in Switzerland. They say it's possible.
The video glitched. Sorry if
The outbreak
video
originated
glitched.
during one of the ship's many stops. 3 other passengers from the ship have already returned home to the U.S. None of them are currently showing any symptoms, but the Andes strain has a long incubation period, meaning it can take up to 8 weeks for someone who is exposed to the virus to show symptoms. As of this taping, nearly 150 people were still on the cruise
8
ship, and their trip up
weeks?
Africa's west coast is
That
expected to
would be
take about 3.5 days.
56.
The World Health Organization is stressing that
56
the outbreak does not
days.
pose a wider public health risk at this time.
This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far. We completely understand why these questions are coming, but this is not the same situation we were in 6 years ago. It doesn't spread the same way like coronaviruses do. It's very different.
As the U.S. and Israel's war with Iran continues, so does its impact on the global oil supply chain. Here in the U.S., gas prices jumped up to an average of $4.54 per gallon this week. That's the highest national average price for gas since July of 2022. The pain at the pump is being felt by everyone, from commuters to New York's cabbies, who say the skyrocketing prices and lack of tourism are decimating their business.
Really sucks. Gas going up every single day now, from $3.60, now it's $4.45, and the same price. So it's affecting everyone, not only me.
Meanwhile, France's transport minister says the country's government is preparing to provide financial aid to airlines hit hard by rising jet fuel costs. European authorities are looking for ways to avoid widespread aviation disruptions this summer after some airlines warned there could be jet fuel shortages within weeks. About 75% of Europe's jet fuel is normally imported from the Middle East. One of the biggest airlines in the world is saying BYOS, bring your own snacks. No free snacks for some of their shorter flights. Starting May 19th, Delta Airlines will no longer offer free in-flight snacks or beverages like water, soft drinks, or coffee for non-first class passengers on shorter flights. The change affects about 9% of their flights, those that are 349 miles or less and have a flight time under 1 hour. We're talking flights like those between Baltimore and Boston, or LA and Phoenix, or
What did they say?
1 hour. We're talking flights like those between Baltimore and Boston.
All right, let me pull up Google Maps again. This time, only focusing on the U.S. travels this time. The U.S. travels this time. not global travels, but the US travels. The US travels makes sense since it's just legal in the US. All right, let me look it up. Let me type it in. Directions. I think it's gonna take long. But anyways, all right, let me just pull it up quickly. So yeah, the route from um um Baltimore, Maryland to Boston, Massachusetts. The route, if you take like a road route, well, guess what? There's a even quicker way because the roads in like New Jersey and Connecticut are closed. So the easier way is taking the plane, which is flying, of course, and it would take literally an hour and a half to get to from Baltimore to Boston. Yeah, if you didn't know, Baltimore to Boston is nearly 400 miles. Yeah, nearly 400 miles. Yeah, it's nearly 400 miles of a route. Okay. The same thing as the last one for the Baltimore to Boston route. It's just a plane only. And this time it's going to take an hour and 20 minutes to get from Los Angeles to Phoenix. Because this route is much shorter, even though it is literally almost 400 miles. It is almost 400 miles to get from um 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 Los Angeles to Phoenix. However, this is from California to Arizona. Yeah, this is like the West. This is like the West. And the West, so yeah, if you didn't know, Los Angeles and Phoenix, Arizona are both 3 hours behind because right now it's 3:55 in Los Angeles and Phoenix. All right, let's do another one. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. Another one. This time, this is the Midwest. Midwest. That's right, this is the Midwest, and their route is much longer. All right, let me just pull it up. Yep. So for the route from Minneapolis, Minnesota to Chicago, Illinois, the same thing as both Baltimore, Maryland to Boston, Massachusetts, and California and Los Angeles, California to Phoenix, Arizona. But however, this one is much longer, but the flight is shorter because the flight is only an hour and 25 minutes, and the route is 407 miles long. Damn, that is a long flight from Minneapolis to Chicago. Anyways, we're not okay. Anyways, the same thing as yesterday, and the days before. I am also not gonna watch the whole thing, so don't worry. I am not going to watch the whole thing because that would be too long for me to enjoy. So I'm just simply choosing to not watch the whole thing.
Delta says the move is expected to create a more consistent experience across its network. Other major U.S. carriers have already stopped offering in-flight service on shorter flights. Pop quiz hot shot. Which is the second most?
Okay, I think that's enough right there. That's enough right there. I'm gonna give this another like and leave. Yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, that's it for the weekend. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn that post notification bell on so that you don't miss any more videos. Anyways, goodbye for the weekend.